Um, Survival of the fittest is not an accurate or adequate um, observation or analysis, um, because uh, dinosaurs, okay, and then this big rock comes and hits and gets rid of the dinosaurs because they were. There's lots of evidence how bad they were throwing off their ecosystem because of their aggressive, um, predatory existence. Right. All right. So you can't be like a dinosaur. You have to have a cognitive. You have to have cognitive reasoning skills, and you have to understand um, laws and the balance and harmony to maintain laws, to maintain an eternal existence. The beautiful interactive of the gifts given of the symbiotic relationships. Right. So health obviously is not physical fitness as you guys would perceive it. Because look at most of the physical fit people on TV. They're 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 insane. They will do things. You got Fortnite. You got Assassin's Creed. You got Call of Duty. You got people. They put them in uh, um, physical condition to be considered exceptionally physically fit, and then they will fight like hell with each other for inanimate objects and murder each other and fight like hell for sexual access to people that are just as insane as they are. Uh, and so it's and then the people that are Amy's not as physically not very physically fit, okay, but she's just as affected by the insanity of jocks and Paris Hilton as everybody else is, right? And but because they all want to be included, they want to be part of the group, okay, they want to be part of the social convention, and so they're a part of the insanity. And they always have entourages, and they get together in entourages, and they feel important. The Devil Workshop, Donovan and them feel all important. They got no love for one another. They won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer, but they'll all fight like hell for their group to win. And it's very unattractive. It's so unattractive. It's like, oh shit. It's hard to keep your prostate going. It is hard to think about sexual reproduction and the acts of sexual reproduction and having children live in this hell. It is very difficult to try to keep yourself from shutting down from chemical poisoning and prostate cancer and your colon just shutting down. You got to eat. Okay, I'll eat. So eat healthy foods. And I was connecting to my exes and the children and the effects that they have and trying to help them and talk them through and survive it. And Patrick's right. He goes, Dad, they're not listening. They don't believe in you. I'm like, yeah, I know. There's not many people in the present that do believe in me. And in the past, it was worse, right? So, there's a guy named Earl whose dad's name is Ralph and mom's name is Mary. He's born next to the Trinity site, who is the one that he's the 1322nd Redeemer, and he's the whole reason for the apocalypse, because you need the Lord's Prayer guy to stand up and do the right thing in the bowels of hell because it says so in the book. But for some reason, he's not me and he does not exist yet. Okay, having trouble figuring that one out. Wow, I can read a book, but I can't comprehend it. Beware of dog. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? So you're like, wow, and then you get all these people like, George Lucas is mega mogul, mega famous, and you look at all his science fiction, and they have all the people on the Big Bang Theory, allegedly they do get all up, and read and get entertained by that stuff. But I understand it's part of the group collective. It's a social convention. I get that. But the thing is but it makes no sense. Okay, Star Trek makes no sense scientifically. Star Wars makes no sense scientifically. You look at it scientifically, there's no balance and harmony and understanding. It's very destructive. You get together, you do all this, and okay, but then you destabilize that planet, then this one goes, but domino, oh, domino. And you're like going, no, it doesn't work. Okay. None of the stuff that they talk about, okay, is tangible and or real. Like if you can't have a self-sustaining gravity ship with the like the Yorktown stuff like that. It When you sit and look at it, it makes no sense because you're like, okay, well, you're going to provide your own photosynthesis like you do with fluorescent lighting. And then the energy, and it creates its own energy through the movement for okay. And it's going to create a simulated gravity that has the same gravity as planet Earth. And the fuel is going to run off, and so it's just, well, it's not hard in space. You develop this, just inertia. You just got to get it rolling because you're in space. Okay. But you need balance and harmony and the understanding of the laws for balance and harmony to sustain that and maintain it. It does it on its own. But when you invent and you manipulate, you think you're playing God and the dredge, and which also wouldn't exist because it's like, no, because of this and that. And then once it goes raging supernova. Okay, and so you need these pockets of balance and harmony in order to sustain existence. And so when you start like Higgs bosons and colliding and things like that and stuff like that, you start, like Einstein said, you start fucking with shit you shouldn't fuck with. Now, you're like, okay, once the antimatter has been, then you have to do this, and you have to contain it. Okay. And so, yeah, that's a very difficult proposition when you're dealing with that, What do you do? So you got this antimatter and a bottle, and a thing. And when you're doing, like when you make a wormhole, okay, when you make that wormhole, you're looking at, you're looking at the culmination of matter and antimatter, and you're trying to contain it to achieve objectives and goals for a selfish ends, for a selfish perspective, to go out and correct one single mistake. Well, if you live the Lord's Prayer, don't you think you'd correct those single mistakes, Commander Taggart? Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll see. So correcting the single mistakes is learning from the mistakes and not repeating the same irrational, I'm dragging minds, right? Shooting each other with weapons and raping and pillaging, and then you get these people, and it's like, the other day I was like, yeah, I get it, I understand, my own family's that way, this guy's dying from cancer, and no one wants to talk to Earl. It's just, that's because they feel guilty, because past, present, future operate at the same time. They still think they're worshiping the Vatican's and David Rockefeller's cartoon character, and Earl is a crazy person that wants to replace the cartoon character with his sanity. Yeah, that makes lots of sense. You got to have, how many of you, any doctors in the family, right? Shit, right? Like my poor son who works on AI equipment to help people stay alive, through this hell. It's like the exact opposite of Dr. Kevorkian, okay? And it helps people stay alive, and he has to explain to the engineers what their equipment does, right? Like, yeah, it's like, damn, okay. So it's like, but the engineers are the geniuses, right? And they'll make stuff, and it's like the engineers, because my family is an engineer. Yeah, so Oppenheimer was an engineer. Okay, he did engineering. Okay, guys, he invented the nuclear fucking weapon. Invented, I might add, or, manipulated matter to make it go, which Einstein said, we shouldn't do this. It's wrong. There are better ways. Tesla, as far as inventing things to conduct energy instead of what we perceive as create energy. Okay. Tesla's inventions are more, let's find safer ways and more effective and healthier ways to conduct energy. Okay. That's what Tesla was doing. Okay. Oppenheimer, it was to invent something that does not exist on the planet, but is the source of the existence of the planet. Okay. Nuclear fusion, fission, whatever you call it. So that's a radically different. You're inventing something you can't control. Where with Tesla, it's like, let's invent something to conduct it so we can control it. We can control it and manage it and do it in a healthy manner so it doesn't use for weapons to mass murder us and all that stuff. That was one of the main things that Tesla was looking at. Okay. So it's very difficult to use for weapons to mass murder us all and threaten to mass murder us all. They can't fuck us in the ear with money and technology. Okay. So when we're talking about health, we're going to talk about health today. Okay, in order to be healthy, first you have to be a line of faithful people that are mentally and emotionally healthy, like myself. Okay, Elon Musk is not mentally or emotionally healthy. Okay, and all the people that you vote for in office, the mayor, because he's not emotionally healthy and happy. He's like the people on the Glasheen Guy Sinderman commercials, My family works at my families are slave labor for genocide and this. Yeah, okay. We're proud of that. We're proud of the chili dropping. Was it green or red? I went to bed. I was tired of these assholes. I tried to go to bed. It was late. I did other things. Yeah, I didn't fall asleep till about 2 because of all the noise from all the drunks shooting off fireworks all night. Celebrating mass murder over money for another year. It's pretty sick. I know it is. They've been doing it for a long time. Let's blow up those buttons. And the rockets, red glare, the bombs bursting in there. The home of the brave, huh? You guys are not nearly as courageous as Jesus, Peter, Paul, and me, right? Or Mary. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, courageous is standing up and doing the right thing when no one else will, so children can live peace, so they won't be abused by a bunch of perverts. You guys all stand up for the Melendez brothers who killed their own parents. I met a woman who was sexually abused by her father, and the mother couldn't do anything about it, and she still loved and took care of her mother, and she still loved her father. She just didn't, hang around him. She went away from him and went back and didn't take her girls around him. Well, that's the way we did things in ancient times. Well, because in some ways, in ancient times, some of us were more civilized than we still are. All right, you guys all have a nice day. Well, people can learn from their mistakes, and people can say, hey, you don't do that, and you can do it without killing people. Well, because we're civilized, If people stop, you forgive them. If they don't stop, you stop them. 2 and 2 is 4. That's why I'm the Messiah, and you guys are all on the outside looking in, watching all the terrorist activity on TV because of the assholes you voted for and the assholes you'll fight for money with. It's obvious I'm a better person than you. Survive, stop, eliminate, reduce, recover. I don't have any plans for the future, okay? If you plan on being a part of my future, show the fuck up. If you don't get with a bunch of scientists that think you're planning my future. Okay, I love you. Peace.